Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm Kelly. This is KBellaBeauty, and today I am going to be doing an updated eyebrow routine. I want to say it was like a year and a half ago that I filmed my original eyebrow routine, and I have very sparse, thin eyebrow hairs. They're super light. Since I'm a natural redhead, I have a lot of blonde eyebrows. And so a year and a half ago, I filmed my routine. My routine hasn't changed that much, but since I'm filming on my phone, which is better quality than my camera, I did tweak a few things in my brow routine, but I felt like I wanted to refilm it for you guys so you could see how I get these eyebrows here. So if you're interested in hearing about my brow routine, go ahead and keep on watching. Before I jump into the tutorial, I do kind of want to go through the brow products that I use, and these are like my holy grail brow products. I don't really deviate from these 4 products here, and I've repurchased them over and over again. The first being my eyebrow wax, which is the NYX Eyebrow Shaper. You can get this at Ulta Beauty, and it's just the brow wax that I go in with first to kind of get my brow hairs set up where I want them to be. And although I use this every day, I don't feel like this is like a staple brow product. I feel like if I didn't have it, I would do just fine. But since I've been doing my brows like this for so long, I do still use this brow product. The 2 brow products that are my go-to holy grails that I do repurchase time and time again and that I'm always reaching for are both by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is the Brow Wiz and the Brow Definer, both in the shade Caramel. I feel like Caramel is the shade that fits me best since it does have more of a brown tone, but you have a hint of red in there. So I feel like that just works best with my hair color, and I cannot go without either one of these brow products. I feel like they're good for different purposes. The Brow Wiz kind of helps me set up my eyebrow shape and get the fine lines and details, whereas the Brow Definer is best for me since I have very thin, sparse brows to cover a large area in a short amount of time. If you already have really nice, full eyebrows, you can probably go without the Brow Definer and just go in with the Brow Wiz. And to lock everything in place, again, another Anastasia Beverly Hills product. It is her clear brow gel. I used to use one by Maybelline. It was just like a clear mascara, and I used that for a brow gel and it worked out just fine. But I did end up getting a sample of this clear brow gel, and this stuff really locks your brows in place. So once I went through my sample, I did go ahead and repurchase this, and I like to use this to set my eyebrows. Those are the 4 brow products that you're going to see in this tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I use them, so let's jump right in. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in with this NYX Eyebrow Shaper. It's just an eyebrow wax, and so I feel like if I put it on my eyebrows before the actual product, it just kind of gets my brows in place and helps to keep them where I want them to be, which helps me shape them a little bit better. And then I typically go in with a spoolie from one of my brow products. It doesn't matter where you get your spoolie from, but I just use this spoolie to kind of brush the hairs in place where I want them to be. And you'll notice, I have pretty sparse eyebrows. They're pretty thin, they're pretty light, but I still like to get the hairs going in the right direction. The first product that I go in with is my Anastasia Brow Wiz. I like to use the shade Caramel because it has a little bit of a reddish tint, but not too strong. And what I do, it's going to be hard for me to talk while I'm doing this, but I just take the Brow Wiz and I kind of underline my eyebrow where I want the bottom part of my eyebrow to be. I will underline it and fill it in just a little bit to kind of create a base to start with. And I'm just using a very light hand. You don't have to press hard at all. I tend to use a little bit more pressure toward the tail because I do want the tail to be the darkest part of my eyebrow. And then once I have it underlined, I take the Brow Wiz and I just kind of flick up in the front part of my eyebrow. This is where I want the least amount of product and I want it to be lighter. and then I'll take the spoolie and just brush that product in so that I don't have any harsh lines. I feel like that makes it look a little bit more natural. And this is just like a base for me. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Now that I have a base down and my eyebrows are starting to take a little bit of shape, I like to go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer, again in the shade Caramel, and I like this one because it has more of like a triangular tip, and so it helps me to kind of fill in the sparse areas quicker. But again, I want to use a light hand. I don't want to have too much pressure, and I just kind of start in the middle and work on the tail, and then I'll come back to the front. And so I'm just using light feathery strokes to kind of carve out my arch and get the tail filled in.
It's delicious.
And I'm going to repeat on the other side. My next step is to go in with some concealer and just kind of carve underneath and above my brows to clean them up and make them look a little bit more sharp and crisp. And so to use that, I go in with the Superstay Better Skin Concealer from Maybelline. I don't like this one for underneath my eyes, but it does a really good job of kind of cleaning up my eyebrows. And then just a flat shader brush that I have from Mary Kay. I got it like a really long time ago. And I just take a little bit of the concealer and put it onto the back of my hand, and then I'm going to use my brush to carve out my eyebrows.
Delicious.
And once I've cleaned my brows up, I go back in with my Brow Wiz, and this is when I do detail work and I kind of just make sure I have my arch how I want it to be. I fill in any kind of missing spots, and I'm just going to use a really light hand and short strokes. And I go in with my spoolie to kind of make sure the hair is going in the right direction. So this is more like the detail part, like filling it all in. And I'm just going to use short strokes and build it up, brushing it out as I go. is to set everything in place. So I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel, and I'm just gonna take a little bit, whatever comes out on the brush, and I use that for both brows, and I just spoolie the front part up really lightly and kind of brush it out to make sure my hairs stay where I want them to. And I'm just gonna flip it over and do the same thing on the other side, just depositing that product where I want it to go and brushing my hairs back. And then I let it sit for a little bit to kind of set in there. And then I'm just gonna go in with another spoolie. This one's on my brow wiz. And once it's set a little bit, I'm just gonna brush it out again to make sure my hairs are standing in the right direction. And then if I see like any sparse areas at that time, I can just kind of go over it again and brush it out. The key to making it look like nice and natural is just to use your spoolie to blend everything in so that you don't have like streaky, harsh lines. If you want it to look like natural and hair-like, you just need to spoolie everything out, and then your brows will look like this. And there you have it. That is my brow routine for sparse, thin brows. I tend to go for more of like a natural feathery look instead of a more bold brow. So those are the products that I use. That's how I get these brows here, and it's been a pretty solid routine for me. If you did enjoy this video or if you found it helpful, I hope that you will give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, I hope that you'll consider doing so before you go. I do upload twice a week, typically either on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then again on Friday, Saturday. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.